Welcome to online grammar class for intermediate level. I'm Nguyễn Lý Kim Khánh, a teacher of English at the Asian International School. Today, I'm here to help you study this grammar course better. Now, let's get started. Our lesson today is about advice, obligation, and prohibition. At the end of the lesson, I expect you to understand how to use modal verbs to give advice, obligation, and prohibition. You can express yourselves using correct modal according to the situation in real life, and see the differences between modal forms which are used to express advice, obligation, and prohibition. Our lesson will be divided into 5 parts: warm-up, new lesson, practice, game, and summary. Now for warm-up activities, I want you to watch this short video and then answer the question. What are the people talking about?
Hello, I'm Simon, the new intern.
Welcome to Smith & Smith Limited. I'll show you to your desk. Joe will tell you everything you need to know about the office.
Welcome to Smith & Smith Limited. I'm sure you'll like it here. There are a few rules. You have to arrive before 8 AM and you can't leave until 6 PM. You have to wear smart clothes. You don't need to wear a jacket or a tie, but you mustn't wear jeans.
But the receptionist...
Oh, she doesn't have to follow the rules. She's the boss's daughter. You need to bring sandwiches for lunch because there are no restaurants near the office. And you have to eat your sandwiches in the lunchroom. You can't drink or eat anything at your desk. Oh, she can do what she wants. She's the boss. You have to work hard and you can't make personal calls during office hours. You need to tidy your desk at the end of each day. I'm sure you'll love it here. You just have to remember one rule.
Oh? What's that?
You must do what the boss says, but not what she does.
So, as you listen, Jay, the staff in the office, tells some rules to Simon, the new intern. Jay says some rules such as you have to arrive before 8 AM, or you need to bring sandwiches for lunch. You must do what the boss says, or you don't need to wear a jacket or a tie. She doesn't have to follow the rules. So these sentences are about permission and obligation. Our new lesson today. First, I have this picture. There are 2 snails talking together. I think you should get help. Yes, I must see a therapist. So what does the sentence, I think you should get help, mean? What is it? It is an advice. The left snail wants to give the advice to the right snail, right? Next, Bart, you must clean up your room. So how about the word must? It means that this guy is asked to clean up his room. So it is the obligation. And the last picture. How about these signs? What do they mean? If you see, we have the word must not. So it means we are not allowed to do these things, right? So it is the prohibition. We are prohibited to do these things. So how can we use these modal verbs correctly? First of all, for advice. Again, in this first picture, the man says, you should see a therapist. He used the word should. And for the next, the woman in this scene says to the girl, if I am to play the role, I ought to make some effort to look the part. She used the word ought to. So we use should or ought to give advice, right? But how can we differentiate should versus ought to? They are mainly used to give advice. For should, it's used when we want to express our subjective opinion. In other words, what I think is best for you to do. And for ought to, it's used when we want to express an objective truth. In other words, it means that what is necessary and cannot be avoided. We use ought to when we are talking about laws, duties, and regulations. Generally, ought to is stronger than should. As I said, we use ought to when we mention about the laws, rules, duties. In this, what's he doing? Yes, he's doing exercise. And because exercise is good for our health, so he should do more exercise. But when he's tired or he feels sick, he shouldn't do more exercise. So the negative form of should is shouldn't. Next example is quite funny. You ought to laugh at her, she's silly. But you think, should you do this? Of course not. So you ought not to laugh at her, it's unkind. So the negative form of ought to is ought not to. Beside, I have the other. I think you should ask her out. Or I don't think you should go there again. So we often use the phrase I think and I don't think when we give advice with should. These two phrases are often at the beginning of sentence. We also use should and ought to for giving opinions about what the right thing to do is. We all ought to use our cars less. Besides, we can use must for giving strong advice to ourselves. For example, I really must start going to bed earlier. And how about obligation? We have to study English at our school. He must do his homework. So you can see these two modal verbs, have to and must. So we use have to or must to talk about obligation. Now, let's have a look at these two examples. I must start walking to school. It would be good exercise. And I have to start walking to school. I've canceled the bus. So, when do we use I must and when we have I have to? Have to is used for things that we are obliged to do. It's for objective obligation. And about must, it's used for things that we strongly feel we should do. It's about subjective obligation. Again, so for this example, because walking to school would be good exercise, so I strongly feel that I should do this. So I must start walking to school. But in this case, because they've canceled the bus, so we have no choice, like it's the external factor. So I have to start walking to school. Remember? Next, we use don't have to or doesn't have to or needn't for things that we don't need to do. It expresses a lack of obligation. And the last one about the prohibition. How about these signs? That's right. It means that we are not allowed to do this, such as visitors must not smoke or children must not play on this side. We are not allowed to do these things. To understand and remember how to use those modal verbs in each case, I want you to review by doing this short exercise. Fill in the blanks for these sentences. Now, let's correct together. A. We use should or ought to express advice. Good job. Next, we use have to express objective obligation. As we learned, when we tend to talk about rules or laws or obligation, we use have to. How about C? We use must to express subjective obligation. Next, we use don't have to or needn't to express lack of obligation. Very good. And the last one, we use mustn't to express prohibition. Easy, right? For C, practice. Rewrite sentences using the words in brackets so that the meaning stays the same. You will have 30 seconds to have a look for these 6 sentences. Okay, I know you have your answer. So for number 1, it would be a good idea if you ate healthier food and should is given. So we write, how can we write? Very good. You should eat healthier food. Easy, right? Next, remember to turn off the lights when you leave. Very good. You mustn't forget to turn off the lights when you leave. Remember to turn off is the same with mustn't forget to turn off. That's right. Next, they make us wear a school uniform. So it is, we have to wear a school uniform. Next, number 4, if you are tired, you'd better go to bed. And we have the word ought to. So we have, if you're tired, you ought to go to bed. Next, number 5. It isn't necessary for us to get up early, and it is given. So the answer is, we needn't get up early. Easy, right? And the last one, you weren't under any obligation to come with me. So it is, you didn't have to come with me. Weren't under any obligation means didn't have to. Okay, now I have a mini game. It's called the Tooth Machine. Are you ready to play? I think all of you are excited. So click on the right option to complete the sentences. Okay, so for the first one, he's too fat. So he shouldn't eat so much junk food. Very easy, right? Next, in Japan, most students have to go to school on Saturdays because it is rule, obligation. So we use have to. Number 3. So which one? It's going to rain. You ought to take an umbrella with you. It is the advice, so we choose ought to. We want to give the advice. Number 4. It's foggy today, so you shouldn't drive too fast. Easy. Next, you have an exam tomorrow morning, so you must prepare well and quickly. Next, she has a terrible headache. I think she should take aspirin. We want to give advice, so we use should. My eyes are tired, so which one is suitable? That's right. I spend more time in front of the computer. Next, your mom is really busy, so you ought to help her with the housework. Next, you are in the library, so you must or have to think it carefully. It is have to, that's right. You have to be quiet because it is objective truth. We mentioned about the rules, right? So we use have to. And the last one is too hot here, so she didn't wear winter clothes. Let's review the lesson together. For giving advice, we use should and ought to. Should is used for subjective opinion, what I think is best for you to do. And for ought to is stronger than should. It is the objective truth. Normally, when we are talking about rules, duties, and regulations, the things that is necessary and cannot be avoided. Next, for obligation, we use must and have to. Have to is used for things that we are obligated to do. It is for objective obligation. And for must, it is used for things that we strongly feel we should do. So it is for subjective obligation. Remember to the example of I must start walking to school, it would be good exercise, and I have to start walking to school. They've canceled the bus, right? The differences between have to and must is that we based on the situation, right? And for the last one, prohibition, we use mustn't. And that's the end of the lesson today. I hope you understand and remember all the knowledge. And make sure to review it again. Thank you and see you next time. Goodbye.